Hi there, Diablo 3 fans, welcome to my channel. I would like to show you my version of the popular build, which is Demon Hunter Multishot. Let's not waste more time, let's start the game. I will briefly go through all the items I've used, the skills I prefer on this build. So, as the most easiest to go through will be the Enchantress set. Let's go through the items. All you focus with her item is just to have the emanates bonus. In this case, I've chosen the Broken Crown helmet, which is whenever a gem drop, another gem with the same type drops, but you need to have some gems fitted into that socket. At the moment, it's just like collected item, not yet decided which gems I really need. I think I will need green ones. I will do that, but for the purpose of this build guide, is just to show the items. The armor I've chosen is the gold skin. It gives you the chance for enemies to drop gold when you hit them. Gold is quite a valuable item to have. More you have is better, because then you can do the greater rifts with Empower Rifts bonus. As shoulders, I've chosen the shoulders of Zakara. This gives you indestructible items, so you don't need to go to every time to add headrig to repair your items. As Amulet, I've chosen Dovu Energy Trap, which increase duration of stun effects by 21%. As an alternative, I can recommend here is what can we choose? We can choose the Flavor of Time, which the emanation bonus gives you longer time of obelisks to last. Barcels, popular one, Nemesis Barcels, which gives you shrines and pylons will spawn an enemy champion. That's good for this build because we have items which and skills which depend on killing them. So you can always get another group. And if you're doing rifts, you want as many champion and bosses groups as possible, because they will speed up your killing time and the bar. So the rift guardian will appear quicker. If it comes to rings, I've chosen Avaris Band and Ring of Royal Grandeur. This one is, like you always know, it's because we want to have as many sets as possible. So with this ring, I can use 2 sets with 3 set item bonuses. And this one gives you, each time you pick the gold, the radius will increase. Weapon, whatever you put is okay. I'm just choosing this one because that's what I found and given her the most damage and toughness. If it comes to focus, it's also whatever can be found. There is no focus or weapon with bonus to emanate at this moment. We don't know what they will do. And in terms of those 2 sets, I've chosen Sage Journey and Kane Destiny. Sage Journey with boots and belt, and Kane Destiny with pants and gloves. What those sets gives you is greater chance, 25% chance for extra greater Rift Stone drop, and double the amount of death breaths that drops from the enemies. In terms of skills, I've chosen Charm. You can choose Temporary Pulse, that doesn't really matter which one you choose here. The second one is the reduce your skill cooldown, must have, especially on the beginning. At later stages of the game, you can choose the increase of static elemental damage. But yeah, at the moment I'm keep using the skills cooldown, because I need to have as much of them to get the vengeance all the time active. Third one is powered shield, reduce damage and slow the enemies. And the third one, focused mind, because I don't have this character as hardcore one. I don't need to have Fate's Lapse, which is critical when you have hardcore character. And I'm using Focus Mind, which increase my attack speed. So that's about the Enchantress I've chosen. And in terms of the Mind character, the mindset you will be aiming to get is Unhallowed Essence, which gives you your generators generate 2 additional hatred and 1 discipline. So the hatred and discipline collects quicker 4 elements gives you 60% damage reduction and 60% increased damage for 8 seconds if no enemy is within 10 yards. So you try to keep as far as possible from the enemies. And this goes well with Squirt's Necklace, which increase enemies' damage. So let's see. And damage taken is increased by 50%. So that's increased by 50%, that's reduced by 60. So you do your math. And the sixth bonus, 6 element bonus is your generator's Multishot and Vengeance deal 350 damage every point of discipline you have. So it's our best possibility to keep as much as discipline you can have. That's why the preparation, but we'll go to skills in a minute. Second set I'm using is the Captain Crimson Streamings. It's a belt and shoes, boots, whatever you call them. In terms of this, you can swap between boots and pants. If you find the Unhallowed Essence boots first, then you craft the pants for the Crimson Trimmings. This set comes from the Hedrick Imon, or Artisan. And the third set I'm handling, sorry, I didn't say about the bonuses. So yeah, this set gives you regenerate 6000 life per second, reduce cooldown of all skills, and reduce all resources cost, as well as damage dealt is increased by your percentage of cooldown skills and damage taken is reduced by. So it's increased damage, and reduce cooldowns. That's all you need to aim for with this build. And the third set is Bastion of Will, 2 rings, which create a set which gives you, when you hit with a resource generator attack, you deal 50% increased damage for 5 seconds. So you every 5 seconds you hit your left button skill, which then activates that 50% damage dealt, and then you spam with Multishot. And when you hit with a resource pending attack, you deal 50% increased damage. So left, right, and you've got 100% increase of damage. If it would be that easy to count it in math. I've mentioned about a Squirt Necklace, so let's go through this one now. While you're not taking the damage dealt is increased by up to 100%, and the damage taken is increased by up to 50%. So you need to focus on finding something which decreases the damage. Luckily, it's our set. And the browsers, I'm using World Saints Arm Guards, which is every time you destroy anything, you go through faster. So that's increased speed item. And the weapons, quiver I'm using is Multishot, hits enemy with 60% of health twice, and the damage is increased by 163. This maximum roll it can be 200%, which you will be aiming for when doing this set to perfection. And Multishot, the legendary bow is Young's Recurve, which Multishot attacks 50% faster and its damage is increased by 162, and again 200 if you do it perfect. In terms of gems I'm putting in is diamond for reduced cooldown, and or here we go green because we want to increase the attack. And those special ones, Breath of Light, 15% chance on hit to gain a Breath of Lightning, dealing 2175% weapon damage as lightning every second and to nearby enemies for 3 seconds. While under the effect of the Wrath of the Light, gain 25 increased movement speed. So that's again increase your speed. Second one is Zay's Son of Vengeance. Damage you deal is increased by 6.8% to maximum 34 if you are 50 yards away. So you try to keep yourself far from the enemies. That's what gives you more damage. And 20% chance to hit to stun the enemy. So you spam the multi-shot, which you basically stun all of the enemies, and with Enchantress you additionally gives them longer by 21% longer stun. And the last one is Bane of the Powerful. Gain 20% increased damage for 65 seconds. So basically, for elite pack you kill, you are always with that increase of 20% if you go to the rifts. So that's about the items we have. Paragons, utility ones, you focus first on resource cost reduction, then area damage, then life per hit, and the last one is the gold peak radius. In here, in the defense, I would go through resistance, life, armor, and then life generation. In terms of offense, it's really up to you how you feel. I feel that the most important for me was at the beginning cooldown reduction, second one was attack speed, and with those two, either you go through critical hit damage, because you spam it so much you don't need to have increased chance. Let me change it while we are here. So increase the damage, and then you can increase the chance. So that should gives you, yeah, same damage output at the moment, but yeah, in reality it will be more because you spam so much. So 1.5 or 3.5 won't gonna make that much difference. And the core ones will be the movement speed you want to max out, and the dexterity. You can also increase the maximum of heart rate if you are having any lack of those skills. I, I did use points here when I had problem, but at the moment I have no problem, so I will just focus on movement speed and dexterity for the damage. If you're lacking any survivability or you're going on hardcore character, you play with vitality on as well. Okay, so the Masteries Paragons are done. To not miss anything, let's do an ice cube. Must have for this build is Dawn. Reduce the countdown of urgency by 65%. Price fall gives you 30% resource cost reduction for 5 seconds. So you need to keep far from the enemies. You're not getting damage, you are constantly under this aura. And Ring of Royal Grandeur. Reduce the maximum number of needed items for set bonus. So we can use 2 sets instead of 1. Last but not least, skills. Mouse skills, I use Evasive Fire with Focus Aura, which gives you fire at 3 enemies, and the Focus Aura don't give you the flip back, you just get more heart rate. Multishot, with which fire massive volley of arrows, and with Arsenal, which gives every time you fire, it launch multiple homing rockets. Action bar skills, I use Defensive Aura, which is Shadow Power, gain life for dealing damage for 5 seconds, and gain increased movement speed while Shadow Power is activated. So that's for speed. Volt is also for speed, but we will find it later when I go to passive skills. Tumble acrobatically to avoid attacks. Reduce the discipline cost if you vault immediately again after landing. So that's the tumble rune. And this is your skill when you need to go faster through the enemies or try to hide from them and you're going back. And hunting preparation with invigoration. Focus and instantly restore 30 discipline, permanently increase maximum discipline. So that's 2 bonuses you would like to have. So whenever you go down to half, you just press 3, you get the preparation, you get plus 30 discipline, and you can get more damage on your multi-shot. And the must-have aura is Vengeance with Seti, turn into the physical embodiment of Vengeance for 20 seconds and increase heart rate regeneration. So you must have this active all the time, then your heart rate won't go down. As a passive skills, the 3 must-have is Tactical Advantage. Whenever you use the Vault or Shadow Power, you get 60% movement speed for 2 seconds. So that's why you have those two, so I'm getting double whammy on speed. And Blood Vengeance, your maximum health rate is increased by 25. In addition, gain 30 health rate and 3 discipline when you are healed by the health globe. So the health globe helps you regenerate both of the discipline and health rate. So you basically don't run out of them. Ballistic, so those rockets are increasing attack. And Hot Pursuit, this you can choose 3 skills to be honest here. I've chosen the Hot Pursuit to increase the movement speed, but you can use Awareness if you are on Hardcore, or Ambush, or Single Out. So those 3 can replace this one, whichever way you like it. I like it the Hot Pursuit way, that's how I choose it. So we've gone through the items, we've gone through skills, Kana Cube is now resolved, so we go to see how the character works. So I'm going on level 75 Torment 16. That's the most common one to get to start farming, and yeah, activate everything, which is the Shadow Power and the Vengeance. Because we've got that down in the cube, we don't need to worry about the cooldown on the Vengeance. This, even though it's a very powerful build and can kill everything which is standing very quick, you need to be careful with the survivability of that build. Fortunately, we have lots of elemental damage dealers in this rift, so we will need to be very careful with those toxic fumes, because I don't have it yet nicely increased on the resistances for those type of elements. So we'll need to be careful going through and try to jump through them, or try to find way through the second level and hope there will be no elemental damage so often, because with those toxic ones we'll have a problem. So that's like a glass cannon build. It can kill everything, but you need to be very careful, because anything stands next to it will kill you. And when you're not having so much of a survivability, you go and increase your vitality, so you can last longer. But yeah, like I said, it's just freshly built Demon Hunter. All you need to focus now is finding better equipment. I don't have even primal equipment or ancient one, which is must have if you want to do higher level rifts. But the point is to show that this build can easily do level 70, level 75, so you can start farming the better one. You can open the path to get primals by doing level 70 on your own with no issues. All you need to be aware of is to keep your skills active, keep your distance, and let's go. Depend on what, it's on all characters, it depends what rift you are approaching, what enemies you get. It's gonna be long or short. I've done this level of rift few times today, and it took me like 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes max. Now I can see this one will be longer, one will be like 5 minutes, because I need to be more careful. But you see the damage is in billions, so you definitely will make a use of it if you will be careful.
That was just a taste.
I haven't played long with that build, so I'm not yet properly skilled to show you the full output of it, but I just want to show that everyone can do build which easily go through level 70, level 80, and then you can start farming your goods for other characters, for other builds you try to play later on, and most importantly to get this one sorted to the max levels. Imagine if I would have, oopsie, that's max, okay. Mages need to be taken really carefully from a very long distance, but you can afford that because that's how you skill this build, to do more damage if you are farther from the enemies. You don't need to see the enemies to kill them. Yes, imagine I would have all the items primals, and they will have like 1000 dexterity on them and 1000 vitality, so that would definitely help. That's what you're aiming for, getting as much as possible of the ancients or primal with 100% roll on stats. That's all you can do at the moment if you want to increase your character survivability and power. It's funny because I've just done the same video in Polish language, just for my Polish fans, and I gone through the rift without any issues. This time it just rolled out so much of a toxic enemies that it's gonna be a boy like to get through. But yeah, you can just ignore the groups and just go through the elite or champion packs. I like to kill everything which I approach. With greater rifts you don't focus on drops because you only get drop from the Rift Guardian. But if you do the normal rifts for getting more keys, it's good to collect all items. And this build allow you to get everything collected. Yeah, it wasn't kind roll for me for that rift. But yeah, as you can see, we survived it. And with the damage we can apply, it's really pleasure to play it. And don't need to worry about the enemies, they might not even see you when you kill them. Let's get this one out, and that should bring the Rear Guardian one more time, why not? Save on time, we'll just do back to start. With Greater Rifts you got that when the Rear Guardian appears all the minions dies, so that's good, because you don't need to worry that, oh, you just spawn so many of the champions and you're not gonna be able to survive. No, the Rear Guardian will kill them before you start killing him. You see the game just freeze. That's why I'm not using the oopsie. That's why I'm not playing on the hardcore mode, because I have problem with survivability of my internet. Not best, but still does the job. You need to be careful, like I said. I used to play a lot in monk version of this, so monk playstyle is a bit of a different game to this one. With monk I don't need to worry about being in the middle of action and having 5 of them on my head. I can easily deal with them. This one needs more survivability, toughness, resistance is worked on.
I'm overburdened.
I hope you enjoyed the movie. I hope I haven't missed anything. I show you the enchantress, I show you the main character, I show you skills I'm using. Last one thing is the potion. Try not to use the standard one, try to use any one you find. I'm using the one which increases my armor by 14% for more survivability, and also because that's the only one I found. As you can see, it didn't take us long. Let's see how long it took to get that rift sorted. But if you enjoyed it, leave the thumbs up, leave your comments to help me building up the channel. And if you want to be aware of new movies appearing on the channel, just subscribe it. So what's the... Yeah, it's 7 minutes. That's the longest one it took me because of the many dice we had. But yeah, all the point is to show that this character, this build can be done easily and can do the rifts. Now you just do rift 70, 75th and gain as much as possible of the items. Try to roll better stats. Try to get better items versions, like instead of the just legendary, just get them as an ancient. That's gonna be it to get it sorted, and then you will enjoy the play. Take care, guys, and hope to see you on another movies I will be posting soon. Bye.